For science class, we had to do a field practice. This practice was the counting of species. Our project was based on the artificial plants. These are planted by the men. The elaboration of the project was in the back of the library.
For realize this field practice, we use a wall of roll and sticks to do the quadrant. The quadrant was divided into 30 squares that were the subquadrants. We have to find the number of species that in this case were the artificial plants, like we said before, planted by the men. We found that there were 26 plants that were planted by the men. Then we have to use the mean. To find the mean, we have to add all the plants that were found by each subquadrant, and then divided by the number of quadrants. In this case, we have to divide 26 into 30. Then we have to find the variance, and then divide the mean in the variance. Then we found the number, and with that number we determine the distribution pattern. In this case, the distribution pattern is uniform now that all the plants were found into two rows of subquadrants, and because they were planted by the men. And let's see the conclusions.
As a conclusion, we can deduce that the plants that are planted by the men are in a form of uniform. In the quadrants, after the equations, we get the results that they are uniform, and after the results we have a problem that they put a block of stone over the place, so we cannot take the final data. But in here is our photos and our data.
The mark and recapture technique. On Tuesday, 37 of November, on science class we go to the soccer fields of Gimnasio Campestre to make a study of one insect species. We study the pillbox. This work was divided into two steps. The first step was the marking, and the second one was the recapture. In the marking, we have to find and identify the species and mark it with anything that we have. We mark the pillbox with esmalte, and we identify and mark 110 pillbox. On Friday 30 of November, at science class, we go to the soccer fields to do the recapture of the species. There we find approximately 45 species, 45 pillbox, from where 15 or 20 were marked already, and the rest were unmarked. So here are the conclusion.